So Nike finally released their trailer for Caitlin Clark's sneaker. They finally did.
Finally, after months of watching Nike fumble their golden goose, they've finally done something that makes sense. Caitlin Clark just got the commercial she deserved. And now, the haters are losing their minds. The tears are flowing, the keyboards are on fire, and the salt levels could rival the Dead Sea.
Heard already, I'm pretty sure you have. Nike has released a new Caitlin Clark commercial, and they made it their business to show love and show out for none other than CC. Now, we know fans has definitely been in odds with the company ever since signing Caitlin Clark. A lot of people feel as if they put Caitlin Clark on the back burner. I don't know, man. I'm a Nike fan. I know a lot of people going to disagree with me on this, but I think Nike was strategic with their growth. People could be mad about it or feel whatever way they feel about it. But one thing I can tell you is that I feel as if they were strategic.
Nike dropped that Kobe-style commercial for Caitlin's new PE sneakers, and it feels like they finally remembered why they signed the most magnetic player in basketball. The woman who single-handedly pulled women's basketball into prime time, who packs arenas like she's handing out free money, finally got an ad that matches her energy. And the critics? They're fuming.
Clark and Nike are officially dropping Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever player-exclusive Kobe 5s in just a couple weeks. So this shoe was first seen being worn by Caitlin and was thought to be a colorway made just for her up until just a couple days ago, where Nike's official images of the shoes got leaked and the announcement was made saying that everyone will now have a chance to wear.
Let's talk about what Nike just dropped. This isn't just a commercial, it's a statement. When Caitlin sits in that chair, laces up the Kobe 5s, and her eyes shift into those snake-like slits, channeling the Mamba mentality, Nike is making it clear who runs this league. The visuals, the cinematography, the entire vibe, it's premium. The kind of spotlight reserved for superstars, not the leftovers women's basketball has gotten for decades.
We got something for Caitlin. We got Mamba Caitlin. We got Mamba Caitlin. Where is the Mamba Caitlin? There we go. We have the Mamba logo. We have Caitlin on demon time right now. But yeah, it's good to note that they finally announced it as Caitlin's, as a Caitlin logo. Or sorry, as a...
But here come the usual suspects, crawling out of their caves to complain. Why is she getting all this attention? What about the other players? This is too much for a second-year star. The same tired chorus that's been whining since Caitlin stepped onto a pro court. They just can't admit what's right in front of them. Caitlin Clark is the face of women's basketball, and Nike finally had the guts to market her like it.
Now, people felt the type of way, about Caitlin Clark getting these PE shoes. A lot of people felt as if she should have her own signature shoe, which she should. She very should. But guys, I don't think there's any player that got a Kobe PE, bro. Like, do y'all know who Kobe was in the basketball world, bro? I'm just saying, like, Kobe didn't, allow, even his family, I'm pretty sure, is not just going to give his signature shoe to just anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, other NBA players ain't even got.
You know what the best part is? Those shoes sold out in 5 minutes. 5. People were camped on the Nike SNKRS app like it was a Travis Scott drop. The $190 retail price? Gone before you could even refresh the page. Within 2 hours, they were flipping on eBay for $375. By the end of the day, StockX had them averaging $365, with some pairs hitting $800. That's the Caitlin Clark effect. Not hype, just facts.
These things is some fire. I'm telling you, where there's smoke, there is fire, and these things is hitting so hard. And who got a bot? Who a shoe plug? Because I need 2 pairs. I need one for the sneaker wall, and I need one for my feet, because these things is hitting right here, and no, I don't want to pay $600 on.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe. Meanwhile, the critics are fuming because Nike finally acknowledged what the numbers have been shouting for over a year. This is the player who drove WNBA viewership to its highest point in 24 years. The league averaged 657,000 viewers per game, and 19 of the 22 games that topped 1 million had Caitlyn's Indiana Fever front and center. She didn't just move the needle, she snapped it off and launched it into orbit. But let's talk about the elephant in the room that's got everyone stirred up. For months, Nike was slammed for slow-playing Caitlyn while prioritizing Aya Wilson's signature shoe.
So it's finally here. Caitlin Clark sneakers from Nike is finally dropping. She was signed to them last year, and the sneakers is a year late in my opinion, but nonetheless I'm excited because these sneakers is finally coming out. But what does annoy me a little bit is that this is a collaboration with Kobe. Now, Kobe, respect to Kobe, the legend, rest in peace, great basketball player. But in my opinion, Caitlin Clark is a big enough star and she's creating her own legacy. So I feel like, at least for her first sneaker, it shouldn't be a collaboration with any other player, dead or alive, in my opinion. I feel like Caitlin should have, for her first shoe, had her own original design just for her, no collab.
The Aya versus Caitlyn debate got toxic fast, with people turning it into everything except what it really was: business. Nike was getting blasted by former employees, including Jordan Rogers, a 15-year Nike vet who called them out for sitting on the biggest needle mover in American sports since Michael Jordan and somehow deciding to slow play it. The drama peaked when Aya Wilson revealed she'd known about her Nike deal for 2 years, but acted like she was being passed over when Caitlyn's contract dropped. The tweets, the subtweets, the passive-aggressive jabs, all while sitting on a signature shoe she kept under wraps. That's manufactured drama. But that's what happens when a player transcends the sport, and certain corners of the internet just can't handle it.
Her stock price since 2021, it is down nearly 60%. Your executives and the people who are making these decisions, their stock options are worthless. Meanwhile, you have the single biggest needle mover in all of American sports since Michael Jordan, and you have somehow convinced yourself that you need to slow play this. Let me show you Google Trends search traffic for 4 female basketball players. There is one who only rivals Caitlin Clark, and that is Angel Reese, and you do not have her. She is over at Reebok. I am so confused as to how you would be so invested in the WNBA for several years, and you have been doing great work to try to elevate and uplift that league and many of the athletes there. But this seems like you have convinced yourself that this needs to be an either-or conversation. And we never have an either-or conversation in the men's sports. You have like 10 signature athletes. Half of them don't deserve a signature.
Now Nike has course-corrected, and they're going all in on their biggest asset. That Kobe commercial isn't just marketing. It's Nike finally realizing what they have. Caitlyn isn't just another WNBA player to be treated like an afterthought. She's a cultural force who brings everyone to the table. Families, kids, men who never watched women's basketball, casual fans turned diehards. She's expanding the entire universe of the sport. The ad connects her to Kobe's legacy in a way that feels real, not forced. She's been wearing Kobe since college, calling them her magic shoes, her babies. So when she channels that Mamba mentality in the spot, it's not cosplay. It's recognition of a kindred spirit. And the late, great Kobe? He would have loved this. A player with the same obsession, the same killer instinct, and the same power to elevate everyone around her.
The long-awaited, highly anticipated Caitlin Clark player exclusive, not her signature shoe. Remember, they're not creative enough to think of that. But that should be coming out in a few months as well. But the player exclusive, they're starting to give it the push. This is the rollout. We got a clothing line coming before the holidays. Let's see how many resources Nike puts behind Caitlin Clark now that we're going to start getting some of her merchandise coming out, and fans are indeed.
But here's what really has the haters pressed. Nike is finally treating Caitlyn like the alpha she's always been. Not a co-headliner, not a feature act, the main event. Her signature shoe is reportedly dropping later this year, and it's almost guaranteed to break every record in women's sports marketing. Nike's decision to center Clark flips decades of sports marketing norms. For years, women's sports were treated as secondary content. with just 0.4% of all sports sponsorships going to female athletes. But now, by putting Clark front and center in massive campaigns, including Nike's first Super Bowl ad in nearly 30 years, they're proving that women can get the same top-tier treatment once reserved for male superstars. Her $28 million 8-year deal? It's looking like the steal of the century. It's already the most lucrative contract ever signed by a women's basketball player, and it sends a clear message to the market. Women's basketball isn't just viable, it's valuable. This kind of investment forces other brands to rethink how they approach female athletes because the game has officially changed.
You finally put her in a Super Bowl campaign with 9 other women, and all respect to them, but none of them are moving the needle quite like she is. Your tagline in that was "You can't win, so win." One of the best explanations I can come up with is that you are wringing your hands and afraid to enter into this politically divisive conversation that has been co-opted by the media and pundits who are race baiting and doing all kinds of ridiculous things around women's basketball. You can't win, so win. You have the unicorn, the chosen one, the one who everyone wants to hear from, and you were just sitting around Gatorade, State Farm, Gainbridge, Wilson Basketball, have all figured out how to have a point of view with Caitlin Clark. Please, for the love of God, figure something.
The resale market doesn't lie. When your player-exclusive Cobes crack $8,000 on StockX and 756 pairs sell at an average of $365, nearly double retail, you're not seeing normal athlete demand. That's superstar territory, Jordan-level impact. Only 13,000 pairs dropped, proving the pent-up hunger for anything Caitlin Clark touches. Before she arrived, the WNBA hadn't hit a 7-figure TV audience in 16 years. Now it's routine. Her games pull 1.09 million viewers versus 414,000 without her. In arenas, matchups featuring Clark average 15,591 fans compared to 7,645 when she's out, a 105% jump. Road crowds spike 87% when she visits, and her contests make up 33.5% of total league attendance despite being only a fraction of the schedule.
Initially, I thought that these might not perform well, but just wait until I show you the stock numbers on these. Not only that, but apparently her jersey is in high demand too after she publicly defended Angel Reese. I didn't think that this colorway was going to do too well at first, but pre-sale is saying otherwise. These are currently pre-selling for over $300 and the retail is only $190. They drop on June 30th and the total stock on Nike US is just 13,000 pairs. For comparison, the Kobe 5 Eggplant had just 30,000 pairs on Nike.
The viewership data makes it even clearer. The 2024 NCAA Women's Basketball Championship, led by Caitlin Clark, pulled in 18.9 million viewers, over 4 million more than the men's final. It marked the first time a women's title game outdrew the men's. In the pros, her playoff games keep breaking records. ESPN's Game 2 drew 2.5 million viewers, making it the most-watched WNBA game ever aired exclusively on cable. But Clark isn't just boosting her own numbers, she's lifting the entire league. Games aired after hers see rating spikes. Other players' merch starts moving. The Caitlin Clark effect raises the tide for everyone.
Her highest viewed so far on NBA TV, 624,000 folks. We're talking 3 times the amount. We are talking 2 times the amount on a random channel called NBA TV. What's it going to take for these other games' viewership to start?
Nike is finally cashing in on what anyone with eyes already knew. This player moves markets. She drives headlines, fills arenas, and crashes websites. The real scandal isn't that they made her a proper commercial, it's that it took this long. While the haters keep trying to downplay her impact, Nike is printing money off the most marketable athlete in women's sports. Caitlin Clark is that girl. She's always been that girl. The one who sells out games, shatters viewership records, and makes sneakers vanish in minutes. That commercial wasn't just branding, it was Nike finally admitting what the rest of us already knew. They struck gold, and it's time they acted like it.
What is it about Caitlin Clark? She's got it. She's got swagger. She's got, if you will, balls. She's tough, she's shrewd, she's not a good passer, she's all-time great. And she makes logo threes, and she makes them beautifully. She jump shoots the way Steph does from the logo, where she's not feet on the floor pushing set shots. She goes up, holds it, and flicks the wrist, and has incredibly underrated strength. She's just got all-time it factor. She's doing things on a nightly basis where you sit back and say, oh, she's selling them out like crazy. That's Jordan-esque. So in impact, she's already having Michael Jordan impact.
Nike's move to develop Caitlin Clark's signature shoe is a major step toward legitimizing women's basketball at the product level. In the WNBA's 28-year history, only 12 women have received signature sneakers, while over 22 current NBA players have their own. This isn't just about sales, it's symbolic. Nike won't make back that backslash $28 million through shoe sales alone. This is about brand power, being linked to her, and riding the wave of Caitlin Clark's success. Her signature shoe can't come soon enough. And when it drops later this year, watch those same critics who trashed the commercial scramble to downplay the numbers. But the market will speak, just like it did when her Kobe P's sold out in 5 minutes. Just like it does every time Caitlin steps on the court and ratings go through the roof.
It's good to see that not only Nike are doing this, but Nike actually are willing to say, you know what, yeah, we'll give Caitlin her PE. We'll give Caitlin her PE. And I wonder what way the Hatelens are going to twist this. I wonder what way the Hatelens are going to twist.
By positioning Clark as the main attraction, not a side piece or part of an ensemble, Nike is setting a new standard for how female athletes should be marketed. This isn't tokenism. It's real recognition. Clark isn't being propped up, she's leading the way. And in doing so, Nike is shifting the entire landscape of women's sports. Viewership, attendance, media coverage, corporate backing, and public perception are all rising with her. This strategic move creates a ripple effect that benefits the whole women's basketball ecosystem and proves that women's sports are not just viable, but premium. The haters can stay mad. Meanwhile, the rest of us get to watch the most electrifying player in the game rewrite what's possible. The Caitlin Clark era is just beginning, and Nike is finally riding the wave they should have caught from the start.